President and CEO of Easton Bank and Trust Company in Easton, Maryland. Easton Bank is a state-chartered community bank with $150 million in assets. Mr. Menzies is also chairman of the Independent Community Bankers of America. ICBA has nearly 5,000 members, representing more than 20,000 locations nationwide. Welcome.
Thank you, Chairwoman Velazquez and Ranking Member Graves, members of the committee. It is my honor to represent the 5,000 community bank members of the Independent Community Bankers of America. With many of the largest firms stumbling and the unemployment rate reaching 10%, the viability of the small business sector is more important than ever. The SBA loan programs were created to assist our nation's entrepreneurs. ICBA appreciates the committee's support of robust SBA loan programs and proposals to make them even better. Community banks like mine specialize in small business relationship lending. For their size, community banks are enormous small business lenders. While community banks represent about 12% of all banking assets, they make 31% of all small business loans of less than $1 million. Notably, half of all small business loans under $100,000 are made by community banks. The headlines have been full of reports of the giant mega lenders that took on huge risks and stumbled. Community banks represent the other side of this financial story. Despite the dominance in the media about a credit crunch, community banks are alive and well and lending. In fact, small banks of $1 billion in asset size or less were the only segment to show an increase in their net loans and leases in the last FDIC quarterly data. The ICBA was pleased with the ARRA stimulus enacted in February, which contains several IBA-backed tax relief and SBA reform measures. Specifically, the major SBA loan program enhancements enacted are all helping many small businesses ride out this deep recession, and we support the extension of the key incentives for the SBA 7A and 504 lending programs. At my bank, I've made use of both the first-time homebuyer tax credit and the SBA ARC loan program. ICBA applauds the Small Business Committee's legislation to extend the beneficial SBA enhancements included in the stimulus package, such as extending the SBA fee reductions and higher guarantee levels, expanding the ARC loan programs to apply to existing SBA loans, increasing the maximum loan amount to $50,000, and streamlining loan paperwork, making permanent the SBA Secondary Market Facility Authority. ICA believes the key to best meeting small business capital needs is to have diversity in SBA lending options. The SBA should be there to meet the needs of both large and small SBA loan program users. Before this financial crisis hit, nearly 60% of all SBA loans were concentrated in just 10 banks. This is unacceptable because there are more than 8,000 community banks nationwide that can support a large number of SBA loans in total if community banks are able to access SBA loans more easily. In other words, we don't want an SBA with a one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter approach that only the biggest volume SBA lenders can use. To help encourage more lenders to extend SBA loans to small businesses, we support making the Community Express program permanent, supporting a small lender outreach program, establishing a permanent rural lender program, and creating a national lender training program. ICBA appreciates the Small Business Committee's support for the SBA programs and especially for proposing a robust authorization level. Specifically, we support $17.5 billion in 7A program authority, increasing the SBA 7A loan limit from $2 million to $3 million. That's enough. Allowing alternative loan size standards for determining eligible small business borrowers. We support the committee's work. Thank you for all of your efforts in getting the credit needs of small businesses satisfied throughout America. I'd be thrilled to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Menzies. Our next witness